Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with,
Michael Anthony.
and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. We are back from the West Coast, and as they always tell me, don't quit your day job, and there's no rest for the weary, so we are off to work. Man, I knew it was going to happen to me. Just when I start getting used to California time, it's time to come back home. And man, I am tired as can be. Good Lord. And that flight coming back was a nightmare, man. They had us packed in there like sardines in a can. My knees are scrunched up real tight. And it is what it is. But it was a great trip out there. I was glad to see my Cowboys, glad to see my daughter and stuff. But time to get back to work. And speaking of back to work, we've got our first preseason game next Thursday. Now everybody's panicking and talking about our offense is looking bad, our wide receivers aren't doing great, Dak is looking poor. Guys, relax. Take it down a notch. Take it easy a bit, okay? Last I checked, they're not giving out Super Bowl trophies for preseason, okay? For training camp. Are they, Mike? No, I don't think they are. We got new players, we got new position coaches, wide receivers, we got a defense that's stepping up better than before, and I'm telling you, those guys will be playing lights out. And we've got an offensive coordinator who's now trying different things, trying to find out what are going to be some of the plays that the team is going to be successful on. I'm not ready to go crazy yet. Now, as far as the backups go, a lot of people before have been saying Mike White, Mike White, Mike White. Well, right now, Cooper Rush is looking a lot better than Mike White. And, of course, the most popular quarterback on the Dallas Cowboys is always the backup quarterback. But it is what it is. The team will be okay. So I look for them in this preseason game. You're not going to see the offensive star, well, really, the starters much at all. Maybe a series, if that. You're going to see a lot of the backups and third stringers and things like that as guys try and fight and make a spot on the roster. But make no mistake, you've got some guys that are on this team right now that will get cut that could have made the team last year because the talent level is definitely a lot higher and there's a lot of competition in positions where we didn't have it before. Our defensive line is one of them. Somebody like Charles Tapper may be on the bubble, as well as some others. It's just there's too many guys, not enough positions on the offensive line. We've got Fleming. Fleming's a swing tackle, but you guys like Chaz Green, who has actually practiced better in camp, is a guy that's on the bubble. One of our other free agent signing offensive lineman, he's been kind of way overweight and not looking real good. He may end up being cut. So there's going to be some interesting battles. But one thing I do definitely love is the fact that people are out there scrapping, fighting, and clawing to get a spot on this roster. You don't have people that are just like, we know you're the starter, you don't have anything to worry about. I mean, there are a few guys who do, but in the grand scheme of things, there's a lot of competition everywhere from cornerbacks to backups in the offensive line and defensive line, without a doubt. Now, Chris Richard, it's kind of funny because I talked about this when I was in the airport last night, that the energy that Chris Richard brings has literally gotten these guys ready to run through a brick wall. It's funny because Mike Fisher was talking today on one of his tweets and stuff and says that Chris Richard is about ready to run through a brick wall. And I definitely have to agree with that, too. The energy that I saw with him on the sidelines is unbelievable. And that's the big difference to me, and one of the reasons why Jason Garrett hasn't been my favorite. I mean, everybody's going to mess up on the X's and O's sometimes. Everybody's going to have some bad calls. But to me, if you ever watch Star Trek, there was the android Data who was completely emotionless. That's Jason Garrett. To me, Jason Garrett is not a guy who's a motivator out there. He just seems like he's just there. Chris Richard is the polar opposite of that. Chris Richard is a guy who's going to be enthusiastic. He's a guy who's going to get into your face. He's a guy that's going to get the best out of you. And I love that. That's one of the reasons why I was talking about a John Gruden. Well, John Gruden, I think actually, we may have dodged the bullet on that one because he's still living 20 years ago. But his enthusiasm on the sidelines, to me, is a big, big plus. Because you get guys, you get them fired up. Because players emulate their coaches. If you got a coach who is aggressive, who's, I don't give an F type of an attitude, that's how the players are going to play. If you got a coach who is, that's how the players are going to play. So I see this defense evolving and getting aggressive, getting a little chip on the shoulder, getting pissed off. It's something we haven't seen from our defense in a while, in attitude. So we'll see what today holds. In practice, hopefully we'll see some better stuff from Dak and the wide receivers and things, so we can stop listening to the talking heads that are telling you how bad Dak Prescott looks. Well, back to the grind. I'm Mark Holmes, Michael Anthony Fitness, and we'll see you guys with any news on the Dallas Cowboys.